This is how I saved the woman's life. It was in the morning, getting to 1:30 thereabout, when a TB rushed here on her basket and asked of a pregnant woman. And by then the woman hasn't reached here yet. I said, I haven't seen the woman. Maybe they have gone to Pina. And she said no. She asked the woman to come here. Maybe they are stranded on the way. So she followed up, came back the second time, and the woman hasn't come here yet. She went the third time and brought the woman on her own basket in labor.
I
learned that the woman had been in labor for 3 days and had not gone to the hospital. She told me there was no one to take her, although a man had come from the south and was staying in their house. I therefore begged the man to take her to the hospital. He obliged. I also went to pick up my bicycle and meet them at the clinic. But she had not arrived at the clinic. I had to follow up to the clinic 3 times, but she was still not there. I was on my way home when I saw her lying under a tree with a man standing by her. The man could no longer pedal his bike, since her cloth had been caught up in the wheels of his bike. I therefore rode on the man's bike and the man took my bike away.
I was in labor for 4 days and there was no one to come to my aid. I had to call for the community-based agent to help, who in turn begged the young man in the house to take me to the clinic. On the way, whenever the pains came, I had to stop and rest, until I had to rest under a tree. I didn't realize that the community-based agent had been to the health center 3 times looking for me. When she finally met us, my cloth was torn inside the wheels of the bicycle. So the community-based agent took the man's bike and drove me to the clinic.
I examined the woman and she was about 6 centimeters dilated. But her antenatal attendance, she only attended twice. So, and it was at the CHIPS zone. So the CHIPS, the CHO couldn't detect the twin pregnancy because it was only twice. So when she came here, I was not also in terms of the twins because during ulceration, I only hear of one fetal heart. Not knowing that the first twin was dead on top of the second one. I was then trying to do VE to confirm whether there was cord prolapse or something, any abnormality. As there, I felt some substance. So I was thinking that my Catholic presentation is now a breach or something. But my finger wasn't grafting. If it was the buttocks, maybe if I get into the anus, you see that the baby will be grafting my finger. And there was nothing like that. It was getting to 8 o'clock when she started pushing. And this baby came out, macerated. Baby was dead. And I still do the ulceration and there was still another fetal heart. We were there for almost 1.5 hours when the second one also came out. Waiting for these placentas to come out was a problem, and bleeding. We were trying all means. I set up oxytocin drip. It got finished with no effect. I tried doing manual removal. There was no way. It came to a time that she collapsed completely in shock. Before you look, it will come out in a clot. Then you see that it's now running, pouring. It came to a time, in fact, we were all exhausted. Finally, I had the ambulance and they said they were at work. I called the ambulance at Grappa too. And they also said they are on their way to Fia to pick another pregnant woman. I even asked the CBA to pray and said, Mary, Holy Mary, if you leave this woman to die, you will be in shame. So finally, I have to call the security said she saw a Kia passing to Sway. So I tried that line, and I had one of our health extension worker. So I just plead with him to go and tell the Kia owner that I'm pleading with him to come here and pick a patient to Nandam for me. And how to leave this woman to was a problem. We were all exhausted. So finally, I had a vein, and I set up another normal cell line, and we were then proceeding to Nandam. Our rough road too, it wasn't possible. It came out of vein again. But when we got to Nandam, they did well. The nurse there rushed out, and the woman was carrying the other twin that was alive, and they took. For me, I couldn't get out of the truck because it was too high, and I was also weak. So I remained there until the following day. It was almost 5 a.m. So when it was the third day, the woman came back with our clamps and everything and said they have transfused the woman and she has recovered. Oh, come and see us jumping here. We're all then dancing here.
I finally arrived at the hospital and delivered, but I had twins, and the first one was dead. I immediately started bleeding profusely. During the bleeding, I passed out. I woke up at Nandam Hospital with infusions on both hands. I hold this wooden baby as a symbol of my dead twin, and I will keep it even after this one is dead. I will advise all pregnant women to go to the clinic when they are in labor, so they do not put their lives at risk.
I keep telling pregnant women, and even the men whose wives are pregnant, that if you are pregnant, you should seek health services. And when you are in labor, get to the health center. Because if Madam Zubeta had not gone to the clinic, I believe she would not have been with us now.